So welcome again to everyone who has already joined us. Yeah, I see the numbers are going up now, so wow, welcome. Yeah, before we start, maybe a few words about me while we still wait, just that you know who you're dealing with. Hi, my name is Andreas. So I'm a MAXQDA trainer. So what I do is I teach people MAXQDA. I give workshops, I give webinars, I do personal consultation, and I do data analysis. And I am very excited about MAXQDA 24 because I have started using MAXQDA when it was still the old MAXQDA 12, so about 12 years ago, if that's right. Am I that old? Yeah, I'm that old. Oh my God. Okay, yeah. So I'm always very eager to look into a new version and mostly ask myself, like, what does it offer me? Like, what new things can I do with it? And that's also my approach today. So this said, we will not, like, as I said, I'm a trainer, and I'm not like, I don't know, directly like working for Verbi. I mean, they asked me, hey, Andreas, do you want to do that workshop? And I said, like, sure. I always love to share these things. But for example, for license questions, like, can I upgrade with my license from 2018? I'm not the best person to talk to. Just that you know, like, I'm not a salesperson, I'm not a licensed person. I'm a heavy MAXQDA user who likes to think about functions and what you can do with them. That in case, if you have any questions about licensing, about pricing for institutions, individuals, please contact the MAXQDA license support. That's just upfront. But that's also a good thing because, well, I'm a person who thinks about how to use things, and I explored the new features of MAXQDA 24 for you already, and you will see today that I've drawn some conclusions of like what new things can you potentially do with it. That's my approach to working with MAXQDA. Also, I always try to like provide some added value to these webinars beyond a point and click adventure or something that you can read up in a blog post. So I will give you a bit of advice here and there how to use or not use something, because, well, that's my expertise as a trainer, and I think that's always very helpful. Okay, we've got 1 minute left. Okay, yeah. From your names, I see that you come, well, from all around the world. If I just try to deduce from your last names where you come from. Yeah, it's always great to see. That's one of the things that I really love about working with MAXQDA, working as a trainer, that you can bring together people from the entire world, from many regions of the world, from various disciplines, and they come together by a similar methodological challenge that you want to analyze mostly qualitative data in a structured way, and software is a nice way where this can come together. That's also why I always like to chat with people that use MAXQDA or that use similar research approaches, because there's so much you can learn from each other across disciplines. Okay, with that little teaser, it's exactly 3 o'clock, at least in Germany. So let's start. We have quite a bit to look at. So first of all, what are the goals of this workshop? I always love to be clear about that. So number one goal is, of course, you all want to see an overview of what's new. What are the new and improved functions of MAXQDA 2024? But as I said, it's also important, or that's something I want to contribute, is to think what are the new potentials of these new features or improved features, and what are the implications for your research. So what can you do with it? So let's get into that. I just make sure that I have the questions filled up, so you can ask questions. I might pick up a question here and there if it's immediately unclear, but I will also leave about 10 to 15 minutes in the end where we can have a little question and answer. And if you know me, I'm also not shy of doing 5 minutes longer if you still have questions left. So let's start with the first and obvious thing, looks. There is a new interface, and in general, redesigns of interfaces are, I think, in general, like far beyond MAXQDA, things that are often unpopular. Fortunately, I would say, so if you have like a new interface for your iPhone, iOS, or whatever, people often are very angry about it. Actually, in my 12 years of experiencing various reskins of MAXQDA, well, I'm actually quite happy, and I think there were some clever decisions made in the right direction. So what's new? We'll have a look into it right now. You see them here in the summary. You also get the video recording because someone is asking. You get the video recording where you can look into this too. So this is the new MAXQDA. This is just an example project. What you immediately see here is the new and dark toolbar. So you see here the head toolbar is dark. I'm here in the normal mode, not in the dark mode, because I wanted to show you the regular version. I'm actually not such a big fan of dark modes. I like to work in bright daylight. This dark toolbar helps you, or I would say helps us to really focus on the data, because the toolbar is not so much in the center of the attention anymore, but that might be a taste. One thing that I really like is that they reworked the way that the full Windows screen works. If you know MAXQDA, then you might have noticed that here the start ribbon became shorter, because all these options of how do you want to display it, which window do you want to hide or not, all this is gone. What they make now easier is basically they got rid of closing windows and changed it to only minimizing windows. You see here, oh, I need to change that to English in just a second. I'm sorry. Which also helps us to notice that the option, the settings are now in the bottom left, not any longer in the top right. This is, I think, for me, the biggest interface change, because it was in the top right for like 12 years, and I need to get used that it's in the bottom left. I'll quickly change to English, sorry. In the meantime, I pick up one question. Can the old MAXQDA files be opened in the new one, and can you continue working on those? Yes, you can. Just now, right in preparation for this workshop, I opened my master thesis from 12 years ago, which was my beginning journey into MAXQDA, and tried the new visual tools with it. I had no issues with it. It can, in some rare cases, be that you get an error message, for example, because you stored your project in a cloud. But even then, it can be repaired, reset, and just contact the support if you are one of the very rare cases where it has any difficulties. But apart from that, you can just here say open project, and then pick from the previous versions. You see here, it goes back up to MAXQDA 2018. You can immediately do, even if you have older versions, there are ways to still open them, but then you might need the help of the support. So that is a little bit of a teaser. So where was I? Yeah, the windows. So previously you could like choose what windows to open and hide. Now you have, instead of an X closing a window, you have this minimizing feature. And you see here in the bottom, you can pick the windows that you have already closed. They're basically just minimized. I think that's a very convenient way to handle the windows, because earlier you had always to like look, where is the retrieved segment window, where can I open it again? Here you can just say, for example, this is a workout in which a setup in which I often work. I have one long document, I just want to code it. I'm not interested into my document, into my list of documents. I'm not interested in retrieved segments. I just want to work like that. But I can, with one click down here, open and close the windows again that I need. I think that's a very clever design choice that I immediately liked, and it feels, at least to me, very natural. Also, what's nice is that they have reworked a little bit the settings here for the code system. So if I activate a code, which I might use for code retrieval, only then are there options or to reset the activation or to filter by activated codes displayed. So everything that has to do with something being activated, the options are then only displayed when you have done this. So it's, again, less crowded, easier to handle. I really like this new reset function that only pops up when you activate actually something. One more thing that's been bugging me since version 2012 is that here in the retrieved segment window, you can retrieve your data. If you know MAXQDA already, we can say we want any codes about the work situation from Berlin, and we get them. But this window might also be used for other functions to, for example, get code combinations. Here you can just very quickly access the complex coding queries from within the retrieved segment window. So I can click here and then just change the mode, for example, to intersection. I am looking for intersections of work situation and flexibility. I hit start, and there are none, of course. Flexibility and home office and workplace. Nope. Amount of hours in the workplace. Let's see if that works. Yeah, here we have two intersections. Now we see here I activated these two codes, and we see here mode intersection. So you can change this mode, or you can go back. It's basically a shortcut to the complex coding query. I think that makes it so much easier to handle and access. But these are just like tiny improvements. And one thing that's reminded me a lot of when Twitter updates used to be fun. If you're a Twitter user, I still refuse to say X. If you're a Twitter user, you might remember that once there were 140 characters and now there are 280. And Max created something similar, and the length of document names, of code names, of comments, and of paraphrases has doubled. What does this mean? So if you are a fan of really long code names, I just write here long. It can get twice as long as before. Now it stops me. So here you can now really use very long code names. Same is true for document names. Same is true for segment comments and paraphrases. I think especially for documents, it's quite convenient because I like to store a lot of information in my document names up here to say like document 1, worker, male, first interviewed in 2022, code name Selim, and then often a document is very long because I like to have all this information also in the document name. You can do that now. Also for the segment comments here, you can already tell this window is a little bit bigger. You have now more space for your comments. But these are just the tiny things. There are many other tiny improvements, as I said here. Down here is now, the settings are now in the bottom left. If that's an improvement, well, yeah, you can decide for yourself. I liked it in the top right, but I will get used to bottom left. So that are just some, but in my opinion, the key interface changes. Dark toolbar, I think, looks very nice, works. Easier window management, I like a lot. And you see here, I'm a person with opinions. I'm a trainer, I'm a user. I'm a very heavy MAXQDA user. And well, most of the things I like. Although my question mark in the top right, I always like that. Yeah, filtering options and query options. That was pretty convenient. But of course, we don't only want a new software version just for interface changes. As I said, interface changes are often subject to taste. In my opinion, Verbi MAXQDA does a pretty good job in not upsetting me with interface changes so far. They do a quite decent job since 2012. But there's also some new things on the horizon, and some of these new things might be old things. What do I mean by that? So if you have dealt with licenses of MAXQDA, you might know that earlier there was MAXQDA, MAXQDA Plus, and Analytics Pro. And Plus contained the module MAXDictio. If you have never used MAXDictio before, the good news is now it's available for everyone. No matter which version of MAXQDA 2024 and MAXQDA 24 you're going to use, it will contain MAXDictio. I'm not sure if you have used MAXDictio yet or whether you looked into it before, but I will just give you the very quick reminder what it is all about. Well, what are the key features and what are my favorite features? This will not turn into a MAXDictio webinar, no worries. But I think if previously you did not use it, maybe because you didn't have the license for it, now is maybe a good time to look into it or into some of these functions. In the essence, MAXDictio comes down to two types of functions. I mean, there are, I don't know, 10, 15 things you can click on, but it comes down to two essential things. One is that you can analyze word frequencies and also word combinations. That means you usually use a stop list. I will show you in a second how you do that. And then you will explore what words are the most frequent words in specific data sets. You can compare this across documents groups. You can just get word frequency tables. You can also get word clouds, or you can also even look into word combinations, like what combinations of words appear most frequently. And we'll see in a second how that can be useful. This can also help you to identify interesting words that might be relevant for your research. And it especially helps with larger amounts of data, especially if you did not collect the data yourself. You can now load larger amounts of data into MAXQDA where you're not yet sure which of these you're going to use, and then you just run some word frequencies and see which of them might be the most relevant. The second type of functions that MAXDictio uses is the combination of a search based usually on dictionaries and autocoding. And that can be a logical progression from word frequencies. So this would help you to search, for example, for a specific term, and then say, I want to autocode my data with this term. I will show both of these features in just a second so that you get an idea of how they work. And dictionaries really help because you can create longer lists of words that will then be used for autocoding your data. Yeah, I show you first, then I give you the idea what could you do with it, even if you're not a researcher using huge amounts of data. So the two key things are here. First of all, here is the MAXDictio tab. You see there is a wide range of features. The key thing is here the word frequencies. We can, for example, let's just go with these interviews here and just select the word frequencies just as a basic feature for now. You have some settings to make here. You can break them word frequencies up by documents or by document groups. So you could compare in what group, which word is more frequent or rare, or you can just use it for your entire data. You can use stop word lists that already contain some words that are considered not to be important, and you can even lemmatized words, so to reduce them to their basic form. For example, here in English, I will just hit OK now, just that you see how this looks. You get such a list, and here we see in the interviews the word work appeared 256 times, time 197 times. Then we would say, okay, then is maybe not very helpful. Then we can just add this to our stop word list so that it will not be considered next time. We can also update this, and now then is gone. Hour, satisfy, day, home, friend, family. So we get some idea here. And we can use this also to actually look at the results. Like if we go for work, I can double click here and we will get the results. We can look through them, we can auto code them. That's the word frequency feature, just one of them. Or we could also change this into a word cloud. Personally, I'm not a big word cloud fan because I always think that the table is just more clear, but I leave that to you. For illustration purposes, on the other hand, it's very nice to have this. Okay, it's about work, satisfaction, friends and family, and so on. I will not go very deeply into MAXQDA because it should not be a MAXQDA webinar, but just to see, this is one of the key features of MAXQDA that's now available to anyone. And the MAXQDA word frequencies is just much more detailed. You can only work with a go list, so that you say, I'm only interested in certain words. Or you can look into word combinations. These combinations can be displayed as a word tree. Someone asked about that. So then you just see, like, after this word, what words follow in what probability. And this probability turn basically into a tree shape. Yeah, you can also use a word matrix browser to explore how words distribute across documents or within document groups, so that you could see, okay, it's basically like the code matrix browser for words, just to give you some ideas. And the other big, like I said, one thing is frequencies, the other thing is dictionaries. Also just a quick overview. So under dictionary, you can define a dictionary that is a list of words that is assigned to a so-called category. For example, we could say here, these words here are work-related: office, customer, appointment, work, self-employment, employee, college, boss, meeting. You need to come up with these words, so identify these words. But you say always when these words come up, it's about work-related stuff. Or here, these are about care work: household, clean, wash, domestic, cook. And these here are about leisure, about free time: friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, movie, cinema, theater. And what you can do once, the challenge is to come up with good lists that you then say, whenever one of these words appears, please assign the code work-related. Whenever one of these words appears, please use the code free time. I will just demonstrate this to you. You can then here use dictionary-based content analysis. We hit go here. I'm just going quickly through this, but just that you see how that works. And then we can say we want to actually auto-code our results. And then maybe let's always pick a sentence. And then every sentence that contains one of these words in our list is actually applied to the corresponding category or code here in the code system. You see it runs for a second, and then you already see here in the background, it found work-related 40 times, care work 7 times. No, it did go up 570 times, work-related, care work, and free time. And we can also use this to see who talks the most about care work. It's here Tatiana. She talks about care work 16 times. And who talks most about free time? That's here Tan, who talks about it 40 times. Just to give you a very quick, you can just, if this now excites you a lot, just Google MAXQDA. MAXQDA itself hasn't changed, so all the videos of the older versions are true. But I just wanted to point out to you, this is now available to anyone, not only to people who use the Plus license. And I think it's a good thing. Oh yeah, someone asked like what languages are supported. It's a very wide variety of languages. You see here, most European languages are supported. This is just a lemmatization list here. If you had used another language, you can also include it, but please look that up in detail in the Dictio manual. So why do I think it's a good idea that this is available for everyone? Because it allows you, and it allows you to decide if you want to use that after you get the license. Because to be honest, I as a trainer, it's a hard decision to decide when you get the software, will you need this pro feature or will it be useful for you, the MAXQDA? And I always said like, yeah, I mean, there are some things that are useful, but it's mostly useful for larger. Now you can just get it. You get it with your license, and you can then just try and see if it works with your data. I think it's a good idea. And it is especially helpful because it unlocks a new way of exploring your data with a sort of distant reading approach. So instead of just going through your data and reading it in detail, you can like load larger amounts of data into it, screen it with your search terms and see if this data is relevant or which one is most relevant to you. I think that's a very interesting option that now everyone has at their disposal. Yeah, so there are some questions about changes to MAXQDA. As far as I know, there are no big changes to MAXQDA. Maybe they changed a tiny thing in the interface. With the languages, it's always a question like what word lists you use. MAXQDA is only as good as the word lists that you use, your stop lists, your list in the dictionaries, and your lemmatization lists. And that can impact on how good it is. With German and English, I made quite good experiences. Okay, but let's not dwell on MAXQDA for too long. We have more features to explore. So the next thing that's now available for everyone who wants it, I titled it, is AI Assist. If you're not aware of it yet, if you haven't checked it out yet, AI Assist is in beta now for about 2 months, 3 months, something like that. I was very excited when it came out first time, and I produced a couple of YouTube videos about these functions. I will also just very briefly get you the core idea of AI Assist. AI Assist is a GPT 3.5 language model. It is connected with a GPT 3.5 language model that helps you to summarize content in your MAXQDA and to gather new ideas for codes and subcodes. For everyone who wants it, I highlight it, not to say because everyone can get it, but because no one is forced to use it. If you purchase a license, you can now choose, do I want no AI Assist? Then you just choose nothing. Do you want free AI Assist, or do you want premium AI Assist? We'll come to a second what that means, but that also means that if you do not deliberately say, hey, I want to use AI Assist, nothing is happening with AI in MAXQDA. Your data is not sent anywhere. It's stored locally on your computer. No AI is going to automatically analyze anything unless you say, yes, please give me AI. This is just, I think that's a very good choice because many people work with sensitive data and or have other like institutional reasons to not use AI Assist or personal reasons, and you don't have to. It comes with some potentials, but well, you can do excellent research without it. And like my personal attitude towards AI in qualitative research is that if you are a very good researcher, AI can give you some additional potential, some additional things that you can use, but it will not make a lazy researcher excellent. That's not going to happen. If you don't have much time, you're very stressed, and or you just say, I want to get this over with, your research will not be excellent just because you used AI. It's just another tool that can be used. We will see in a second what for. There are two key features. I also do AI webinars. There's also going to be another one in November. So look out for that if you're more interested in AI Assist. But two key things are you can summarize content, and the other ones are you can gather ideas. I will very briefly show this. You can summarize content, and that's, I think, the cleverest way to use AI in the moment with MAXQDA, to summarize content of codes, so of actually coded data. I will show you how that works, just to give you an idea what this can do. So here we have our coded data, and Let's say here we have now our codes about workplace and career. We have here used it 30 times throughout our data, and now we want to know what's actually in there, right? And the basic thing now would be you read through your data and maybe write a summary. Here you see that I already tried it earlier, just to make sure that everything's fine. So here you have this code summary interface in the code memo here of workplace career. And if you activate AI Assist and you got the, I will say a bit about the license in a second, but if you decide to use it, you can have here the blue button, and then it will take these 30 segments, if you decide to use it, send these 30 text segments, just these sentences, send them to a server of OpenAI, and basically there is some kind of prompt in between saying, please summarize this. So let's try it out. We can click here on this blue button. We can decide in what language the summary should be. You see there you have a wide range of options. The summary language does not have to be identical to the language of the interface, the source material. So you can write a German summary for English data, also works. You can decide the length here, and you have to accept the privacy policy every single time. So if you don't accept this here, nothing's going to happen with AI. You can read up in detail here what's happening, and you can also attend my AI Assist webinar, you can then find more out about that. I just want to bring it to the attention to anyone who has missed the beta so far. So it creates a summary here. It's a very conservative model here that does not invent much new stuff. So it does hallucinate less. So it's not so likely to produce like inaccurate results. But actually, if you use it 5 times, you will get almost the same results every time. Here it now says something like the text passages discuss various aspects of the work situation, workplace, and career. Some express a desire for career change to an office job, while others are already satisfied with their current work. Again, as I always say, these summaries are pretty solid, in my opinion. They are quite good basic summaries. You can use them as an additional perspective on your data. I see we have here 2 questions. Do we need to buy an additional license? I will come to that in a second. Yeah, and how to get it. Okay, I will come to that in a second. So first of all, if you have requested, so how to get it? You get it with a new license. You can, if you get the MAXQDA 2024, as soon as you get the license, you can either in your purchase or your upgrading window say, yes, I want AI Assist, and then it will be automatically activated. If it wasn't activated before, you can just go to the MAXQDA website, enter your serial key, the key that you got when you bought MAXQDA, and then unlock it. Now it's bound on the serial number of your MAXQDA 2024 license. So as soon as you have a MAXQDA 2024 license key, you can either get it immediately when buying it, or you can enter it and then get it, or you just look up how to activate AI Assist. I don't want to divert too much attention to it. License is still important. Do we need to buy anything? There is a free AI version, for a free AI Assist version that's limited to about 10 pages of text per day. And there's a premium model where you have then to pay for a year a certain amount, then you have unlimited AI usage. However, this model is only available for certain licenses. For example, with the student license, as far as I know, at the moment, you can only use the free version. If you have any kind of institutional license, 3-year license, 5-year license, something like that, you can buy additionally an unlimited amount of AI support. This brings me to what AI Assist is here about. If you are a student, if you have the free version, I would strongly recommend to use AI more in a continuous approach, because you will also just be able to handle 10 pages a day. When you're done with one code, write a summary. When you're done with the next code, create a summary. When you're done with one document, create a summary. Don't try to save everything for the end and then in 2 days write up all the summaries, because then you will need a premium model, because it will not allow you to actually handle so much data. So if you're a student, if you have the free license, try to integrate it more as a continuous thing. It's available for everyone with the new 2024 version, any versions, but it's not forced upon anyone. I think that's also a very important decision. What my basic recommendation is about AI: use it to get an additional perspective on your data, not use it instead of your brain. Use it like as an additional perspective, by as you would use a student assistant to say, hey, could you read this data? What do you think about it? Then similarly, AI can give you like a summary on data that you might already know and maybe bring up new things to your attention. It's not a replacement for the researcher. I think it's another thing that can help you to get another perspective on your data. And it can help you to create AI generated code ideas. I will show that very briefly, which is also very interesting, I think. Which is also very interesting, I think, because it can inspire you to use other codes. So what we can do here, just one example, AI Assist is, it seems getting better every day, like more and more features. So what we can do at the moment is, let me see, let's just use this text block here, and I can basically ask AI Assist what codes what codes I could use here. For this, I can right click and then hit, sorry, the interface is getting into my way a little bit here. I can right click on my selection here. Sorry, so right click, and then I hit AI Assist, and then I say suggest new codes. And that's actually one of my second favorite feature in AI Assist. You can choose your language, doesn't matter right now, and then it will suggest things that you could use for your coding, like code names or categories that you could use. We'll see in a second how that works. It takes a little bit longer than the other functions. I think it's a more complex prompt. I immediately take a session. Yeah, someone said, Christian said he had some problems with server-sided problems, could not continue. I don't think it's a limitation of your license. Best just write to the MAXQDA support. I think it's really something, it's now from beta into the full version, and there might be in some cases server issues or transitioning from your beta access to your current access. I think it's a thing that will even out within a week or 10 days for everyone. But if you are, like we see here, for me, it was immediately no problem. Like I had absolutely no problem transitioning to the new AI Assist. But in some cases, just contact the support and they will gladly help you. So now we got our suggestions based on only this selected segment here. And here it suggests us 3 types of codes. One's thematic codes, then an alternative option, it's a little bit more abstract, and then more interpretative codes. A code here could be flexibility in daily routine, or calming down before going to sleep. Or if we go more interpretative, it could be self-care and well-being, balancing structure and flexibility. Of course, we didn't look into the thing right now very detailed, but just you see, and it always provides here like a little explanation or definition what this code could be. And you can even just tick them and say, I want to apply them, and then it creates the corresponding codes for you. Especially this feature, you can use a lot even with the student license, because as we said, no, not student, the free version of AI Assist, because we said it can handle about 10 pages. Well, your coach suggestions will usually be based on a few sentences, so that you can use a lot with the free version, just to say, I'm not sure what code name to use here. Maybe let's get a suggestion from the AI. I think that's a very convenient thing, even in a free version. But if you don't wait until 2 days before you have to hand in your thesis and then you want to summarize everything, because for that you will need premium access. But just as a very quick refresher, if you have missed AI Assist Beta so far, have a look at it now. I come to this in the end, got a couple of videos out on YouTube, how you can use it better, and so on. Yeah, someone asked, MAXQDA 2022 can use the AI Assist Beta still. Has the same functions, you just need to update to the latest version. The generate code function was very recently introduced, but I'm not sure, like, yeah, because it's still the beta in 2022, so I'm not sure what they will do with it. Will they make it a full part of 2022, or will it just be available in 2024? So far, you can also use it in 2022. It's exactly the same. So far as I know, nothing has changed dramatically. Okay, we come to 2 more things. Yeah, we're about good in time. I always talk a little bit too much, but I hope these like additional like ideas, what you can do with it, are hopefully useful for you. Like even free AI Assist, get ideas, get suggestions. A new thing that's also AI based is the automatic transcription feature of MAXQDA. It's connected to AI Assist, so you need to agree on the AI Assist terms and conditions, sign up at least for the free version to use the automatic transcription software, transcription feature of MAXQDA is brand new, because it also uses AI, and well, you need to upload data somehow so that the automatic transcription service can happen. So you need to agree to this AI Assist environment, basically. Although you always decide yourself what data you upload. Here we have it in a nutshell. It's an automatic transcription service, AI powered, for audio and video files in 45 different languages. I just have tested English so far, so I took some transcripts that I had before and tested it with them, and I was quite pleased with it, but we come again later a little bit to what things impact this. What's very convenient is that the format is tailored to analysis in MAXQDA. The timestamps that you create, all the formatting, you can import it into MAXQDA without having any issues with the timestamp format might be off or whatever. I think that's very useful. What I also like is that it's fully GDPR compliant. The servers that handle your data are in the Netherlands and in Germany. They are in EU servers. The data that you upload for automatic text recognition, automatic transcription is deleted after a few days. And I have the impression that they strongly prioritize like data security in this, where many other services that provide something similar are a bit unclear about that, or might be just US-based servers that might be a problem for you. And what I also found quite generous, like I looked at a couple of AI transcription software so far, that with every MAXQDA user who has an account on 2024 gets 63 minutes, 1 hour. That's actually quite a good amount of time. So even if you don't want to spend any money on it, you can at least like upload, if you have half-an-hour interviews, maybe you can upload 2 interviews. If you, bit of advice here, if you trim the introduction and the ending a little bit, maybe speed up your audio file to 1.2, and you can make more use of these minutes. Or if you like, delete passages in your audio file in between. So 63 minutes that you can immediately use, that's not too bad, especially you can use it to try it, how well does it work with your data. In my experience, 2 things strongly impact the quality of these transcriptions. First one is audio quality. How good is the audio quality? If there's a lot of background noise, if your microphone is terrible, then it's gonna be much worse. You can prevent that. And the second one that you cannot prevent so much is accent or dialects. Like I worked with like Austrian, German-speaking freelancers. I used automatic transcription softwares before this existed. I used the one by Word, powered by Office 365. And one of my interviewers was just talking in such a heavy dialect that, well, the automatic transcription didn't work so well. And then after this, it costs about, depending on what packages you take, 8 to 10 euros per hour, which I see as a quite competitive price compared to other tools. I will show you in a second how it works. It's not immediately integrated into MAXQDA. You have to use a website in between. Unfortunately, I would have loved to see it immediately in the software, but maybe that comes later. If we now have a video or audio file, we can right-click on it and here say transcribe and then say automatically. Unfortunately, this just brings us to a website. So it doesn't happen immediately within MAXQDA. I just click here, I get this notification, and then I can go to the web page. But I will show you how this web page works and how it looks and what I actually like about it. So I open up the website. It's basically just maxqda.com. You need to log into your account that you have created for like AI Assist and so on. Then you get immediately your 63 minutes, which again, I think is a good amount. Like I've seen other services just offering like 20 or 30 minutes. Should come up in a second. And then what you can do here is, first of all, you need to log in. It forgot me again. Andreas at mixedmethods.com. So I had to focus not to say my password out loud. That would be very silly. Then you get to steal my precious minutes. Now you have Team Cloud and transcription. If you're my Team Cloud user, we go here into transcription. And you see here already I've prepared one file, but I will just show you the process. You upload a media file here. So it's unfortunately not immediately in MAXQDA, but it does a pretty good job, I would say. I now take this example interview. I'm just gonna call this example webinar so that we can recognize it. And then we hit open here. It uploads now the file. And then we can pick here what is the main language of this file. English US, English UK, German. You see here the supported languages. It's quite a lot actually. And what I really like about this feature, and I haven't seen so far, is that you can add your own vocabulary. I think I saw it somewhere, but I think it's a good thing. Like I create all my subtitles for my MAXQDA YouTube videos with automatic transcription, and the word that they always get wrong is MAXQDA. So you can add this to your vocabulary, and then the text, automatic transcription will know that this word is in there and will have a better time recognizing it. And then you hit start transcription. It takes about 1/3 of the time of the duration of the document, but you can just leave it running. Like you can, once the upload is completed, you can just leave it running, and then in a few moments of time, it should be done. So if you have like a 1-hour interview, you upload it, and then here you see now it says remaining 3 minutes. You can upload it, and then you just come back a few hours later, or you start it in the evening and you come back the next day. And then when it's done, it looks like below here, you see it's pretty fast. You can then just hit download, and you then get a Word file that you can import into MAXQDA. Oops, this is other stuff. What it also does is it has also automatic speaker recognition. So it says here, this is speaker 1, this is speaker 2, this is speaker 1, this is speaker 2. I think that's very convenient. And a few things that I noticed that I actually liked is one of the things I noticed here when going through this example. Where was it? Here, it even recognized that there is like a 5 seconds break. Someone thinks here 5 seconds silence, or here just 2 seconds silence indicated by 2 dots. I think that's also pretty helpful to just see that. And I compared this transcript with the actual human done one, and I just spotted one mistake where it messed up days, like these and this or something like that. It was pretty solid, but again, it depends strongly on the audio quality and on the accent or dialect that's in this language. And then you would just import it into MAXQDA. So what you would then do is you open up MAXQDA. The best thing to do this is to first get your automatic transcript done, and then you go to import. First import the audio file that is associated with it. We'll go here, it's on my desktop. I can hear example webinar MP3. I put this and then I select the corresponding media file that I just downloaded. It's here. Again, a webinar should be, no, is it this one? Yeah, let's just pick this one. And then it imports it. Oh yeah, it could not be the one because the other one wasn't finished yet. Let's see, maybe it's finished now. Yeah, it's already completed. So in the time we were talking, I mean, it's just an 8-minute short clip, but still. And yeah, and now we have imported it, and you see you have here the time marks, and you can of course use the edit mode in MAXQDA to even out any errors that might have occurred. Okay. Yeah, someone asked why did it say S1 and S2 instead of the name of the participants? Well, here the software has no way of knowing who these people are. Yeah, so just based on the text recognition. However, you can quite easily replace that with like a search and replace in MAXQDA. You could just say like S1 is S1 I would like to replace with something else. There is no way to immediately modify that. Here it's just like it doesn't know. I go through the questions here too. Does it support Chinese? Let me check. I don't see it here. No, I don't think it does so far. In case of doubt, please look it up in the manual. I think it doesn't support Chinese at the moment. Yeah, someone asked about the accuracy for Spanish. I don't know the particular languages. Please look it up in the manual. I know that it should be above, I think it should be 90% or 95%, something like that they claim. But it's always the claim is, I don't know how how you get these numbers, because audio quality and accent will strongly impact this. No, this cannot translate the transcription. It just uses the language that's there. Yeah, can you change S1 all at once? Yes, you can just use the search and replace function in MAXQDA. Mandarin and Cantonese. Ah, okay, Mandarin and Cantonese. Yeah, okay, that was my lack of knowing that Chinese is, yeah, here Mandarin, yeah, yes, it supports Chinese. Thank you. Someone corrected that. Yeah, I was so silly to look for Chinese, but I will not spend more time on individual languages. Just look it up, try it. You have 63 minutes. Try it for your data. Yeah, I tested it. For me, it was better than the Office 365. For me, it worked better, but might again be all these models that are getting updated from time to time. Just try it. I will, because I want to use the last 10 minutes on what I actually think is the most exciting feature for me personally, and it is the last one, and it's called trends. I call it trends, because you have a new visual tool that existed in some earlier version or some different version. You can now, if you are familiar with it, you already could use word trends in MAXQDA that would allow you to look at how frequent is a word at which position in the document. Now you can use them word, category, and code trends within one document or across documents. And I think that was the feature that got me to reopen my master's thesis from 12 years ago and feed my data to it again. Because it allows you to basically do, it's a visualization tool especially made for longitudinal research. If you have like different points in time and you assume that there is some change over time, you can now analyze, especially code trends, I think, are a key interesting thing here. I will just show you, show instead of tell, what this could mean. I have here one example project that Julia Gerson fortunately provided to me. We have here the speeches by US presidents, their first speeches, inaugural, I'm not a native speaker, inaugural speeches, yeah, their initial speeches as presidents. And we can, for example, have a look how the frequency of words changed from person to person from year to year. That we can now do under visual tools. We now have word trends and code trends. With word trends, we can, for example, now look at a single document. Let's look at that first. Here we have the speech 2001 by Bush, George W. Bush, and we see here we have like his speech is divided in 10 sections here, and we then see where does he speak about liberty, for example. Here this is liberty. And we see that, okay, here liberty plays a minor role in the beginning, and then in the end, in the very end, in the last 10th of his speech, he addresses the topic of liberty a lot. This was with word frequency, word trends possible so far. I found it a nice feature, but I was always like, I can use the code line, it does something similar. But the new thing is that you can use this across documents with multiple documents. So here we could then compare all our speeches here. Sorry, that's not how it works. I hit OK. And now we see here Bush 2001, Bush 2005, Obama 2009, Obama 2013, and then you see which words became more popular or declined. Like here we have, what is it, America was quite prominent here. Then in 2013 speech of Obama, it wasn't, and then Trump was all back about America in 2017. Or here we have freedom in the Bush speech from 2001 played a key role, and then the topic sort of dwindled away. So this you can use to analyze word frequencies. But the final and most interesting feature of this, I think, is that you can also use it for codes. So you can see how the frequency of your codes appears or changes across documents. And for this, I will go back. If you know me, I don't know how well known I am, then you know that I did research on witches and demons in the 17th century as my master thesis. And in this, I have a document set where it's actually interesting to look at it from a longitudinal perspective. I have here 19 documents. They are from one trial. This is the first person who was accused. This is the second one, the third one, and they span over 2 years. And I can then have a look how did certain topics change here. I will just give you like a quick look because I don't want to overstretch the time. I thought I'm gonna have a lot of time for questions today, but I'm giving too much side comments here, but I hope they're useful for you. So I just get my documents in here. Now I pick all 19 documents. These are basically 19 points in time across 2 years. And then I can select what codes do I want to analyze. And right now I just want to go with this one, and this one, because I don't like too many colors at the same time. And now these are 19 points in time across 1.5 years. And we then see here that here this red code packed with the devil, it is here, stayed basically consistent throughout the trials. Here we see it has about the same frequency. In the beginning it's a lot, and there's one person who doesn't say much about it, and it's about the same. And here with this code here, I think it's black, damage against people, you see that there is a spike in the middle of the process where everyone talks about this topic, and before and after there's nothing. So this was actually a new insight for me. I didn't notice that there was like really a spike between 0.7 and 11 here. So 7, 11, okay, kind of uneven. Yeah, so this you can use, for example, if you have newspapers, you have editions of newspapers or diaries or any documents that occur in a sequence of time, then this new tool is really, really interesting. You can also change it from absolute frequencies to coverage of the document in percentages. You will immediately see what impact this has on my document 4 here. Suddenly this is a spike because this document is just very short. So this helps you to even out longer documents and to basically standardize them by length. So this document number 4 here, 58% of its text deals with the topic packed with the devil, although it's just one segment. So you can try this, you can adjust the colors here, absolute frequency, code frequencies, and you can use this really for longer sets of time. I think that's a very interesting new feature. And I have also a couple of clients at the moment that I work with where I'm like, hey, please try this new feature. Like I have a client that works with diaries where people keep like diaries of 28 days in their life. Perfect. You can see when did what topic come up or come down, and when was what topic how popular. You just need to be careful to not put too many colors in there, because then it will get confusing. Okay, we are almost out of time. So yeah, that's about trends. Revisit your old data. That's what I would recommend. Try it out. I think it's a very interesting new feature, and really something. I mean, the Code Metrics browser is a bit similar to it, but it just makes it so much clearer. But be careful, because it, of course, just by the way how it is representing your data, there is like a suggestion that there's like a causal connection, right? That something goes up or down, but be careful with your interpretations here. So that's it in a nutshell. New pretty interface that I think makes some steps in a good direction. MAXQDA now available for everyone. Try it out. Keyword in context is a feature that I also like very much. Word frequencies, dictionaries, AI Assist. You can now use it for free continuously or get the premium version. You can try the automatic transcription feature. You get 60 minutes for free. Just try it with your data, and if you just at least like get one interview transcribed by MAXQDA, that's a great thing, I think. And trends, revisit especially the code trends across documents. I think that's a very interesting new feature.